Hey guys, Grifton here, and today I'm going to be talking about my Phase 2 gear set, or BiS list. But before we get started, please take the time to like and subscribe, as it really does help me out. Okay guys, let's just jump into this. So first, I need to put some notes in front of this. This is not a true best in slot of every item list. There are better items in each slot in a lot of these that you may choose instead. Instead, what this is my list of items I want to achieve what I consider to be the best overall set. I am trying to get my hit capped. I am trying to get the soft armor cap, trying to get expertise capped, trying to get over 60% crit, and still have some decent attack power. This set does that, and that is my goal. The best in slot pieces I will be talking about, but they are not necessarily the goal for my final set. Though there will be some notes there where you'll want to grab them anyway, and I'll get to that. Some of the things I'm going to talk about is the enchantments. All these enchants are pretty straightforward. I'm not going to be going over each and every one of them. You should be familiar. I will be talking about the weapon enchant in case you're curious, but everything else I'm just going to skip over. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments and I'll explain if you need to. As far as gemming goes, I gemmed to hit these goals, and that was the main focus of a lot of my choices for gems. They are flexible. I may change them. I have some agi gems. I have some strength gems. I have definitely done the all strength, all agi done, gems in phase 1. However, in phase 2, because I'm trying to hit goals, I've given myself a lot more flexibility with choices I have. So as far as why I gemmed what, it's really just to hit these goals, and they are flexible. I may change them in the future, depending on the loot that I get. If I'm over hit, I'll drop hit gems. If I'm under hit, I'll pick some up, so on and so forth. So I just want to get those out of the way. One more thing is the tier set. So the tier 8, sorry, this is always hard for me to say. The tier 8 4-piece bonus and 2-piece bonus are amazing. The 2-piece is absolutely a must-have. If you're trying to prioritize anything, it should be 2 pieces of tier gear. The 4-piece tier gear is really good, but you can hold off on that for a little while. The extended Savage Roar of 8 seconds, though, should help you do a lot more with Ferocious Bites and other shred moves and things like that. You should be able to build up combo points very quickly, especially with the 4-set bonus, because you'll have a lot more time to do it. But the absolute best is the tier 8 2-piece bonus. I'm just going to read it. The periodic damage dealt by your Rake, Rip, and Lacerate abilities have a chance to cause you to enter a clear casting state. This is huge because clear casting is something you want to, kind of have all the time. This added with Omen of Clarity should just keep you clear casting all the time. Now, the Lacerate question we haven't determined yet. Should you be shifting into Bear to put the Lacerate up to increase your chance of clear casting? We don't know. We won't know until we get our hands on the actual tier pieces. Regardless, even just with Rake and Rip, it's worth it to have the set. Just to be clear, I'm going for the 4-set bonus, and the one that I'm choosing not to pick up are the legs, because the legs are absolutely amazing, leggings of Cunning Deception, and that was the choice I made. However, if you get the tier legs, there are some great swaps. There's a really good chest called Gladiator, Embrace of the Gladiator. There's some decent gloves called Glove of Endless Dark that come from All Over 10-Man, Gloves of the Stone Reaper come from Aria, I never been to this name, 25-man. And even if you're rocking the Frosted Adroit handguards, they still stack up pretty well. So just keep that in mind. If you get the legs, deal with it. But for this scenario, the legs are where I'm going to be trying to wear a non-tier piece. Okay, all that out of the way, let's talk about gear. So the first thing that really comes up is the Seed of Budding Carnage. Now, the reason I chose this is because I needed Armor Pen. Now, if you are a strength junkie, you might like the Frigid Strength of Hodir instead. It has strength instead of agi. Very similar stats. It has hit rating and armor pen. However, okay, let me explain this because this is going to come up at a different time too. If you're going for strength pieces, keep in mind you are going to be competing with warriors, death knights, rat paladins, and pretty much all the tanks. With agi pieces, yes, you've got rogues to compete with, maybe a hunter, but the list is much shorter, so that's why I recommend agi. Plus, I like this one, Armor Pen, amazing. Alduar 25, Freya. Also, Pendulum of Infinity is really good too. If you're not going for Armor Pen, pick that up. Okay, again, Conquerors, I'm getting that no matter what, so I'm just gonna skip it. Ooh. And Drape of the Faceless General, this is another one. Okay, if you're making a BiS list, if your raid leader says, hey, I need a BiS list, do not put Drape of the Faceless General. Instead, put Drape of Icy Intent. This is a really good cloak. You do want it. It's very nice, and it drops in Hodir hard mode. chances are, even if you see it, it's going to go to a rogue, but you'll still want this thing. Now, the reason I say that is because Drape of the Faceless General, which is what I plan to use, drops in Alduar 10. Our raid does not do loot council for 10-man, so there's no need to try to prio this when you can try to prio this anyway. It's still really good. If you can get this, you can make the armor pen work. I mean, it's only 34 armor pen, so you can grab this and gem armor pen, and you're pretty much close to the same thing. Personally, I'm sticking with Drape of the Faceless General because of the extra gem slot, but that's it. Drape of Icy Intent is your prio. Drape of the Faceless General is what you're actually going to try to grab from Alduar. That's going to be a theme. I will mention it every time. Okay, next we have the Conqueror's chest, which I'm not going to talk about. It's the chest. I did put the 10 stats in there. I'm not 100% this 10 stat things come, but if it doesn't come, I'm just going to put the +6 stats there, just so I can get the extra agi out of there. Okay, next we have the Fluxing Energy Coils. This is going to look really familiar. Fluxing Energy is a 10-man from XT Deconstructor. So yes, I'm going to be grabbing this for the armor pen. However, if I plan on making a best in slot, I'm going to be putting solar bindings because the expertise is awesome, the stats are really good, and this thing is just absolutely crazy. Keep in mind that anything that has Ogolon currently, at least in the time of recording this, is actually not going to be 245. It should be, I believe, 252 or 251. So the stats on this is actually going to go up, and this is going to become even better. So if you are not going armor pen, you definitely want these anyway. If you are going armor pen, I like the Fluxing Energy Coils, but you could go solar bindings and just gem armor pen in other places or pick up an armor pen piece here and there. Again, Alduar 10, Alduar 25. This is Algalon, hard boss at the very end. Kind of like EOE, you need to unlock everything to get to it. So just keep that in mind. This is gonna be much easier to attain. Okay. Dreambinder. Now, first of all, I know you guys are a little shocked. You're probably wondering, hey, where is Dark Edge? Dark Edge is really good. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you're going to go Dark Edge, great. If Dark Edge drops, I'm taking it. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'll take Dark Edge. However, Dreambinder is actually really good, and it has decent armor pen. 90 armor pen is actually a lot of armor pen. So if you're going for an armor pen set, Dreambinder is really good. Keep in mind also that Dreambinder is an Algalon item, which means this is the 245 that's going to go up to 252 or 251. I'm not sure what you're going to end up doing that. But that means all the stats are likely going to climb right up to Dark Edge of Depravity anyway. So the stats are going to be very similar, except instead of getting hit, you're going to get armor pen. Now, keep in mind, if you choose to, you can still take Dark Edge Depravity and do an armor pen set. You would just gem armor pen. Not a big deal. Because if you look, I have a lot of hit pieces. Dark Edge of Depravity solves your hit pieces. It's got 73 hit rating. It'll pretty much solve any problems you have with hit, and you can just take whatever you had hit for and put armor pen, and you're fine. But I'm putting Dreambinder. I'm likely probably going to prio. I'm probably going to take Dreambinder because I feel like the hunters might try to grab this one in front of me, and I'm okay with that because I'll get it eventually. Okay, and I know all you people out there saying, I still haven't seen Journey's End. I feel your pain. So again, take whichever one you can get. If you have to pick a list, I would look and see what your hunters are putting. If they're putting Dark Edge, just slam Dreambinder and you'll hopefully get it first. Okay, Conquer Gloves, talked about that. We're going to skip over it. Soul Devouring Cinch. Now, the reason I really like this thing, first of all, it's Yogg-Saron 10, easier to get, and it is 2 gems, and plus you get the third one, and they're both red, so you're guaranteed to get that 12 attack power. I gemmed this thing full of armor pen because I needed it, but absolutely a great one. There's a lot of choices though. If you're going for something easier to get, there's a leatherworking one, Deathworm Belt, that you can have crafted pretty much on day one. Not really, but there's really not a lot of great choices. Soul Devouring Cinch is really good, and you want that expertise to get your expertise cap. Okay, Leggings of the Cunning Deception. I kind of talked about this one. 3 gem slots. That's pretty much the game changer right there. I mean, like, you look at some of this stuff and like it's decent, but I mean, 3 gem slots, it wins. On top of that, it has the armor pen, which again, I'm building an armor pen set for, so there we go. It is Yogg-Saron 25. So if you have a not very fast progressing guild, this might be pushed way down your list. You might be able to just grab the Emblems of Conquest ones instead. They're decent, but because I'm going armor pen, this is my list. And if you do get the Conqueror's piece, just take it. It's still good. Don't feel bad about it. You'll make it work. Okay, Footpaths of Silence. This should be one of the easiest pieces for you to get. It is a leatherworking craft. However, in order to craft it, you do need items from Alduar. I can't remember what they're called right now, but you can look it up. It's just an item you get along the way. So yeah, get these crafted as soon as possible. They're considered best in slot. They don't have armor pen. If you wanted to go armor pen, you could go with the runed ironhide boots. This might be a place where if you got something, like let's say you got the solar bindings, you could then go to the boots and pick up the runed, or try to get the runed ironhide. So it's going to give you that armor pen makeup that you're losing by not having the fluxing energy. Something like that. Really good place to pick up some extra armor pen. But overall, the foot pads and silence are just amazing. Okay, so now the rings. This is going to get really tough. So first of all, there are two rings I chose are Band of Lights and Brand Signet Ring. Now, if you don't know, this is on a quest, kind of like EOE. You know how like you kill Saffron, you pick up the focusing iris or whatever it is, and then you kill Malagos in EOE. Elgalon is like Malagos. So this is once you kill Elgalon, I'm pretty sure that's how this works. It's been a while. And you can this is one of the loot rewards you can pick up for getting the quest, but you have to be prio with this, so it might take a while. But it does have armor pen on it. It's super nice. And the Band of Lights is from Elgalon 10-man. Pretty easy. I mean, I shouldn't say pretty easy to get. You still got to drop it. You got to win it. But 10-man is much easier to grab loot for. You're only competing with 9 other people. Now, if you're wondering what Seal of the Betrayed King is, it's up here. It is another one of those strength items. I am not a fan because, again, you have to compete with so many other people. Though it is statted really well, I know a lot of people are going for the extra strength, and it has hit on it. I'm skipping it. Now, another one I really do like is Luba the Agile. Much easier to get for Steelbreaker, Aldor 10. If you're running 10-mans, pick this up. It's going to be great, especially if you're not doing armor pen. It's going to be much easier to get than these other two up here. And it's got some really good stats on it. Even if you're running like, let's see, maybe you're running Surge Needle, that hits on there is really nice. But like this has a gem slot, you can throw hit in there, and it's pretty much, it's going to be better. It's going to be better for sure. Okay, so those are my rings, and I am going to be rocking Dark Moon Fair Card Greatness still. It is running end of life, in my opinion, for Feral. This is probably going to be the last phase, and it might even be replaced in this phase, depending on what drops. But the big one, the absolute huge monster right here is Mjolnir Runestone. Try to prio this right away if you're going for armor pen. Even if you're not, it's still amazing. But if you're going for armor pen, you absolutely need this because this is what's allowing you to hit the armor pen cap. So I think I've mentioned I don't know if I mentioned this, the armor pen soft cap I'm going for is 480. And the reason it's 480 is because of Mjolnir Runestone. Now 751 plus 480, I think that comes to like 1131. Don't hold me to that. But that's around what the armor penetration cap is. So you need this in order to make this whole set work. If you're not going for an armor pen, this is still an absolutely amazing trinket. Some other good ones you might want to grab is Dark Matter. I don't think Dark Matter is better than Mjolnir, but if you want to grab it. And then the really contested one is going to be Comet's Trail. Sorry. This increases your haste. It's really good for you. I'm still going to go for Mjolnir Runestone. But hey, take what you can get, right? And then I'm going to be wearing Idol of Worship. Now, some people have talked about, is it this one? Yeah, Idol of the Corruptor. So the theory is you can, if you're continuing to bear weave, you can bear weave, switch to this trinket, use this for the boost of 162 agi, shift back to Cat, and go back to any other idol you want. Idol of Worship probably. Maybe that's a play. So if the Idol of the Corruptor drops, take it, try it, and for tanking it's a must anyway. At least in my opinion it is. I think it's better than the one that nobody can say. And I'm gonna look up so I don't have to say it wrong. I don't see it. I'm gonna have to guess. Starts with a P. I don't know. I'm just gonna type the letter P. I've literally never remembered what this thing's called. It's not even on the list. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The swipe mall one. Anyway, but that's it, guys. This is my gear list. Again, not necessarily a best in slot of every slot, but I think I've made it clear why I chose it, and hopefully it'll give you an idea of what you should be looking for your best in slot, your build, your gear set. I definitely recommend doing something like this in 80 upgrade. I will have a link to this one in the description, and if I make any changes, it should update it so you can have an idea of what I'm going for my DPS P2 ARP set. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, take care.